Hi there, it's Bruce Millington, Graham Rodway, David Jennings and Paddy Power's Frank Hickey. We're looking ahead to some really good action on Sunday when I think it's fair to say there's something for everyone. We've got the final day of the Galway Festival. There's a really good listed race at Chester and it's the Group 1 Prix Maurice de Gheest featuring Caravaggio over in Deauville. They're also racing at Market Raisins. So we'll get stuck into the best bets and we will start with the Galway Festival, day 7, David Jennings running out of petrol now. He's getting on a bit, and it's a long old week over in the west of Ireland, but hopefully he's still got some decent winners for us. Let's start by looking at the 355, the Irish Stallion Farms EBF Ahonora handicap. It's a real tricky one, this. I don't think we've got prices yet, Frank, have we?
We don't yet.
Not yet. Okay, well, give us the winner then, DJ.
Well, I can tell you what will be favoured anyway, because Riven Light will be favoured after its win the other night in the Quinn BMW Mile. But it's down another furlong, the 7 furlongs, which is, I don't blame Willie for obviously taking his chance under a £7 penalty. But drawn 15 over furlong shorter, God, it's going to be hard for Riven Light, I think. Like, we thought this was a stayer. And the one I like, and you might laugh, but I think he could win again, is Barrow-Weaves, because it's drawn and stalled. It's drawn and stalled 4 this time, and it's been so unlucky. Like, for a horse, it's quite remarkable, really. It's just me that's fascinated by this, but for the last 3 years in a row, Barrow-Weaves has ran in exactly the same 2 races at Galway, which I think is quite remarkable. And it runs in that mile race on Tuesday, and this Honora handicap, he's won twice, and he's back again. He's drawn and stalled 4. I thought he ran an absolute cracker the other night. I really did. He finished 5th to Riven Light and 6th, and travelled really well that day. Was beaten 4.5 lengths, but again, as I said already, the draw was drawn stall 11 that night. I think this is his race. Drawn and stall 4 this time. Billy Lee, who is just incredible. He's probably my second favourite jockey after Colin Keane. He takes the ride, and I think Barrow-Weaves could win once again at Galway.
Lovely stuff. Frank, give us your thoughts on this race and any other bets that you like on the Sunday card at Galway.
Yeah, I was giving a squeak to one. Now, the draw isn't great, but Canary Row won really well at Goran last time over 7. The ground's currently soft at Galway, and there's showers forecast for today and tomorrow and Sunday, so I think it'll be soft at best. He's gone up £8 for that Goran run. They had a £3 claimer on that day, and they have a £7 claimer up in Dylan Hogan. I think if he can get a half decent position from the break, I think he could run well, and he'd probably be an each way price, probably be somewhere between 8 and 10 to 1, I'd imagine. In the first, the 2:15, Papal Motel ran really well in the handicap yesterday off America 61. His last hurdle run, he was second behind Whiskey Sour, who won the big race on Monday, and is favourite for one of the big races today. He's running here in a handicap hurdle off 111, and I think he could be well treated. Even if you look at some of the form behind Nessun Dorma at Kilbeggan, he could be very well handicapped, and again could be a handy enough price. In the 2:45, the King of Braga won at Downpatrick of 112. He's gone up to 121, but he has one over fence of 123, so could be well handicapped. He's in as well against a horse called Static Jack, who has won at Galway last September. He's rated 126 over fences and returns to hurdles of 113. So the two of them look potentially well treated, return to hurdles. And in the 5 o'clock, a horse I put up a few weeks ago, Tipperary, called Jack the Wire. He got £11 winning that Tipperary race, but he was given a very tender ride and didn't want to show too much to the handicapper, I think, and I'd say he might be able to sneak in again.
Lovely stuff. Anything else from you, DJ, for this final day at Galway?
Oh yes, Jack the Wire. Jack the Wire is the one. Dennis Hogan stable, continuing in good form, and it was a really good ride actually to get it to win, because it didn't warm up to his jumping early on at Tipperary and went out to quite a big price in running, but 1 by 2 3/4 lengths. You could probably put a 1 in front of that too, basically bolted up. And £11, I think it could have easily got a stone. I think he's well handicapped, and I think he'll win that race. I agree with Frank.
Okay, excellent. Let's look at Chester. G-Rod, let's bring you in here. The 4:15, it's the Total Fitness Queen's Ferry Stakes, a listed race over 6 furlongs, and we've got some of our old friends in here, haven't we?
Yeah, we do. I think Andrew Balder, he must be absolutely nuts if he is not going to run Perfect Angel in this race. Now, Perfect Angel is entered to run at Goodwood Friday over 7 furlongs. This horse is in my tracker, and in my tracker, in the notes, it says loads and loads of speed, might even want to drop down to 5. But at Goodwood, it's run over 7. The first ever start over 7. Now, I know it stayed on quite well over 6 last time, but that was only really finally proving that she stayed 6. Now, a sharp 6 at Chester on soft ground looks absolutely perfect. And watch stores she got, store 1. I mean, that looks beautiful for Perfect Angel.
But do you suspect that they're going to turn up this chance by running at Goodwood today?
I suspect they're going to run at Goodwood and lose rather than run at Chester and win on Sunday. In which case, if Perfect Angel doesn't run, then they're all going to shift across 1, which is going to put Kimberella effectively in stall 3. And, well, Kimberella's going to be extremely hard to catch. I mean, from there, absolutely bundles of early pace. I don't see either of those two on the inside leading around. It's a bit like a dog race. Fly out the traps and make all for Kimberella. But if Perfect Angel runs, I'll be all over it.
Okie-doke. Excellent. Have you had a look at this, chaps, Frank?
Yeah, a couple interested me. In the 2:35, a horse at Mark Johnson called Prestbury Park.
Oh, no, don't steal it on me.
Smashed in the betting at Ascot. And I played up. He was really unruly and stuff at the beginning that day. He was back from about 8 or 9 to 1 into 3 to 1. And then when he was acting up before the race, he drifted out to 9 to 2 and basically blown his race before he ever started. But he went to Haydock the following week and absolutely hacked up. And I'd say he is very good. Of course, Mark Johnson's got a couple of decent 2-year-olds already in the likes of Card Sharp and Milden Berger, and I'd say this is another decent one. I would go against Graham in the listed race, I think. Judicial disappointed us a small bit at York in the listed race there, but he is 2 from 2 at Chester, and I'd say he can resume his progress here and probably get back on the winning trail.
Okay, DJ, you were going to say Prestbury Park, but we don't need to hear that now, do we? Anything else from you?
2 horses at Chester, Bruce. One was Judicial and the other was Prestbury Park.
Okay, fair enough. Graham, anything else from
Dave?
And there's a lot of really good agreeing today, so that's good.
That's on purpose, wasn't it? Yeah.
G-Rod, anything at Chester? And if not, what about Market Raisin?
Yeah, I know. I can't say anything else stood out. Chester, Market Raisin has rather flown over my head.
Okay, fine. Well, let's go straight to Deauville then. It's the 2:45, the Prix Maurice de Gheest, a Group 1 over 6.5 furlongs, and Caravaggio is attempting to redeem his reputation, or redeem himself after his July Cup disappointment, and is a very hot favourite with Paddy Power to do so, isn't he, Frank?
He is. He's 4 to 5. Signs of Blessing 7 to 1. Rosa Imperial 8 to 1. Bound for Nowhere, Brando, Magical Memory, Fast 10 to 1, and we're 16 to 1 bar.
Graham Rodway, what's going to happen here? Are you going to smash the favourite up, or are you going to take him on?
Yeah, well, a tough call this is because, I mean, Caravaggio should win, shouldn't he? But there's been horses, haven't there? I mean, Churchill put in a shocker, didn't he? Caravaggio put in a shocker. Is he going to come back to form? Would you take 4 to 5? I mean, I wouldn't. You know,
I must admit, when I looked at the race, when I was having a look at this, doing some prep, I thought, what price is this going to be? Is he evens, or is that ridiculously short? And he's even shorter than that. So I think the answer to your question is probably no. But like I say, you're the expert.
The rest of them ain't not that good, are they? I mean, you know, Magical Memory, Brando, Admiral, all useful sprinters, but they've not got the sexy profile of that Caravaggio. But he's not 4 to 5 chance for me. I'd rather be a layer.
What are you going to do then? Is it a race to savour? Or,
yeah,
or
I mean,
a race to neither savour nor bet on, it sounds like.
Yeah, if I was going to bet, I'd probably back Magical Memory, just because I think he likes soft ground. Charlie Hill was giving him a good write-up in the weekend of saying that the extra half furlong will suit. He always travels really well through his races.
You know what you're going to get with him, don't you?
He comes in good form. Each way, maybe, bet to nothing.
Okay.
I don't like that word, bet to nothing. I just don't
No,
think
that
there is
doesn't
such
really
a thing. It's
exist,
such
does
a
it?
load of nonsense,
I've had so many each ways bets to nothing, and every penny I put on turns to nothing. Frank, can you solve this one? Put it this way, with the 4 to 5, was there a heated debate about that, or did you all kind of think, yeah, it seems about right?
I wasn't involved in it, to be honest. The first I saw of the prices was about 20 minutes before this podcast. And to be honest, I was surprised Signs of Blessing was as big as he was. I know he was disappointing at Ascot over 5, but I remember reading a week later the trainer was giving out mad about how they were treated at Ascot and how they wouldn't come back if they were treated like that again. I can't remember exactly what was wrong.
Oh yeah, was it to do with water? Or...
It was something to do with water. The horse wasn't allowed to have water, and he felt he was dehydrated running the race, and that cost him. But like, if you go back, he won this race last year. He hammered Profitable in the run before Ascot, and a 7-1. I think he could do a lot. There'd be a lot worse 7-1 shots running over this weekend, and I would probably chance him each way. Look, Caravaggio at his best would probably win, but he was disappointing in Newmarket to my mind, and he doesn't look as bomb-proof as he used to be. So 7-1 is fair.
One more question for you, Frank. If they hadn't gone to Newmarket with Caravaggio and he'd come here, you know, with the Commonwealth Cup win as his latest piece of form, what price is he here?
I reckon he'd probably be 1-2.
Yeah. DJ, what's your view on the Prix Maurice de Gheest?
I have a theory on Caravaggio. I don't think he likes rattling quick ground. I know he won the Commonwealth Cup, but if you go back through his form, like the Coventry was arguably almost his most impressive display because he was on the wrong side, and he beat Maymas that day quite convincingly. That was on soft ground. The time before at listed level at the Curragh was on soft ground as well, and on his first start this year as a 3-year-old at Naas, there was yielding in the goal description when he hammered Psychedelic Funk. So I actually think while the layers will probably take on Caravaggio because of the ground, I actually think it's almost more of a positive. And I know that sounds stupid because he's a lovely, gorgeous mover, but I don't think the ground is going to be an inconvenience. I do think he'll probably win, but I do agree with you. He is a little bit shorter than I was expecting. Frank makes a valid case for Signs of Blessing, but I think it's boring, but I think Caravaggio will win.
All right then.